a version of Toothless for the live-action movie was a real challenge.
You're always very nervous in trying to get something that looks real, but also maintains the character of the original design.
One of the hardest things and biggest challenges we had was to capture the charm from the original. You know, Toothless and Hiccup and their connection is what the whole story is about.
My first engagement and my first meeting with Dean was actually before the film was greenlit. It was more of a development test project to see whether Toothless, the lead dragon, whether he could be translated from being an animated character to a live-action character and feel authentic. That was me, Michael Eames, Framestore's director of animation, the art department and the visual development team working for 3 months developing the look of Toothless.
We knew that we couldn't completely abandon the design. We had to hold on to certain proportions, certain features.
We tried changing the size of the eyes, but we realized, no, the eyes had to be huge. We spent an awful amount of time trying to get the eyes right, the color, the articulation, the shape.
The brief really was that he wanted this to be a real living, breathing animal. It wasn't a character, it's an animal. He was a combination between like a salamander and a black panther or a big cat.
Some of the first tests we did at the beginning was trying to capture Toothless in the cave and those iconic moments when he did meet Hiccup.
We'd animate those out so we could show them to Dean, and that educated everything about the characters. So you're not just going from concept image to model to animation, you're going back and forth and finding the character through form as well.
We had to sort of like take in mind like his internal structure and sort of building him from the inside out, and everyone at Framestore, the modelers, did an incredible job like building the skeleton and the muscle.
We create a world, and within that world we have rules, and we wanted the rules of that anatomy to be true because that makes our performance feel believable.
The key to the whole movie is the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless. So it was really important to Dean that there's not be just like a tennis ball or like a cardboard cutout that we told the actors to look at.
We used a company called Stitches and Glue who make puppets.
And they fabricated our models. So when we're on set, we had the right proportions and the right head size.
Suddenly it felt special to have the dragon right there. But then having these very talented puppeteers now give that foam head personality was invaluable. There was a scene partner in those moments.
Having a puppet that all it had the ability was to do little pedal flicks, little jaw movement, and a tilt of the head, we realized that less is more. And we were already getting that engagement and that connection with the subtleties that the puppeteer was bringing us. One of the tools that we used from Framestore was Farsight. So we had animation performance that we'd done in-house, that we had on set, where we used the iPad, where I could show the performers, I could show the puppeteers, I could show the cinematographers what we've already planned out, so they could frame it correctly, the puppeteers could see the timing of what we've already established.
Really helped the performance of the actors. They could see the character come to life in front of them. They were able to envisage the space it occupied.
And it just gave everyone on set a sense of like, oh, this is going to be magical, it's going to be beautiful.
One of the first briefs that Dean gave us was he wanted the audience to watch Toothless and Hiccup and see their pet dog and cat. When you feel that love and the connection, that tentativeness was really our challenge. So we really lent on real life and seeing how we could find that in animalistic behaviours and mannerisms.
It's iterative. You know, we would start to look at shots in early blocking. Is the idea there? What needs refining? What's way off? But in general, I found everybody understood what we were going for.
Toothless had to be endearing so that everyone fell in love with him.
And I think it's just, you know, being in the hands of very talented, intuitive, veteran animators who know what they're doing, and you recognize Toothless, you see that performance, you see that personality, and yet you believe that creature is in this space.
Toothless is a beloved character, so there was a lot of responsibility in making sure that it worked.
There is really something sort of soulful and subtle that's coming across.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.